she ain't new, she ain't really pretty. And right now, it ain't clean. But this has been a dang good old combine. These were replanted, and as y'all can tell, they're still thin. This soybean just did not do good at all. Guys, welcome back to Ruth Farms. My name is Luke. It's Friday, November 22nd. I think our beans are still too wet, but we're going to head over to this farm that's literally right here beside us, and we're just going to try them for the heck of it. I know the next couple of days I'm not going to be able to cut any. I'm going to be out of town, so hopefully the next week, but it looks like rain again. You know, every time we get close to getting ready, the beans start getting close, it rains again. So anyway, I got a partial load here in the bin. I tried cutting some, it's probably been a week or two ago now, and they were a little wet. I mixed part of this load in with some of the dry beans from early harvest, and then I sold them to a neighbor because we were almost out of bin space. So I'm hoping what I've cleared up is enough. May not be. If not, then that means our beans are better than I think they are. So anyway, let's empty this and then let's run over there, just see what they're like. I got a feeling they're gonna be too wet, but you never know till you try them. We got a long travel to today's farm, going from the bins right up here on the right. All of maybe a 1/10 of a mile. Probably not even that far. I don't think they're gonna be dry, but I wanna try them, just see where we're at. I'm afraid we're going to turn off wet, and then it's going to be hard to get anything. And I'm really wanting to get cover crops on this farm in particular, because I have a contract to put cover crops on it this year. And the longer I wait, the less likely I'm going to be to get a payment on that. So I got her emptied out, as y'all saw, and we're just going to see what happens. You know, soybean prices, corn prices, wheat prices, they just keep going down and down and down, and I don't see how farmers are going to make it, y'all. I really don't. I guess it is one of those things. It is what it is. We've made it to the field, and as y'all can see, I've cut a little bit here. Yield monitor showing we've cut 3.1 acres, and we've averaged about 46 bushels. I think that's pretty close, and you know, I'm pretty happy with that so far. We have cut the better portion of the field. This down here towards the road stays wetter, so it usually does better, but never know. I'm pretty happy with that for a double crop. We got our loop system. It is monitoring. We'll engage our equipment here, turn on our header. Just gonna make a pass or two and see what happens. Can't hurt nothing, right? Watch these as they start coming into the combine. It should give us an idea. That 17.4 we're looking at right now is probably beans that were in it from last time. Might get some pretty decent beans out here if we can ever get them cut. I'm pretty sure we're going to be too wet. It looks like it's still 17th. They didn't feel that wet to me, but I'm also only testing a very, very small portion of what's out here, so I don't know, maybe first of the week they'll be ready. I think there's some pretty decent double crop beans here for us not getting them planted until, I think I planted these the 3rd day of July, which is really late, which we're always later than most people, as far as different places in the United States anyway. But oh well, go put her in the shed, and I'm gonna go back to doing some electrical work today. See y'all whenever they get dry enough. Well, you guys, it's 5 o'clock here Friday or Saturday evening. It took till the last hour for the beans to finally dry down to like 12.9%. We moved over here to the Low Place farm. This is where we store all of our straw over there. Y'all can see that van trailer. My guy that's coming to get it, he's bringing another trailer tomorrow. And just to make it a little easier on him to get in here, I decided to come over here and cut a couple of strips. That way, if they need to turn their tractor trailer around, you know, they don't have to run over my beans. But I got started and I was pleasantly surprised. The first pass or two was 13%, and then the last 30 minutes to an hour, they've really dried down between 12 and 13% moisture, which, you know, if we take them to an elevator, they got to be 13% where you get docked. And we don't have a dryer on the farm, so if today would have been sunny the whole day, it would have been a perfect day to cut beans. I suspect a lot of our neighbors will probably be cutting tomorrow, be on a Sunday, but it seems like here lately we get a rain every 3 or 4 days and it just does not dry down good. But I've seen several 50s in this field, but I've seen a lot of low 40s. Not bad for beans planted, you know, on the end of July, probably about middle of July. And then on the other end of the field over here, I had to go in and replant them. But 40, 35, 40, 50, 45 bushel double crop beans planted that late, I can't be too disappointed. Anyways though, we're just letting the old 6620 eat. I'm gonna cut just as many as I can tonight. Tomorrow's gonna be sunny, like I said. Unfortunately, Monday and Tuesday are gonna be partly cloudy. I'm hoping they'll dry down enough tomorrow that Monday and Tuesday they'll finish drying down. We don't like probably 15 acres altogether being done, so we don't have that much left. It's just getting them dry enough has been a challenge this year. At least this fall. My early stuff dried down too much. As y'all can see back here, we got our sample pretty clean. We starting to get a few pods and stuff in there. It's the sunset. We don't have much. There's a little bit of a breeze, but the dew starts settling and then they just get a little bit harder to crack open. But I'm not too disappointed considering how late we planted these beans. I think we could have had a heck of a bean crop if we'd have got them planted, you know, about 3 weeks earlier, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Being I got some of this wheat planted earlier, I'm hoping maybe it'll be a little earlier. That wheat's been planted, you know, 2 to 3 weeks now. As y'all can see, you know, it's already greening up pretty well. It's revealed a major mistake I made on getting the auto steer set up though in the tractor. Every other row, somehow I got them off, and like my drill plant's 10-foot rows. Well, every, you know, it'll be 2 drill widths, so 20 foot. I'll have like a 12-inch gap, 13-inch gap between, you know, the 2 drill marks. So I got a perfectly straight line, about a foot, a little wider than a foot wide, and it just looks stupid. Probably not gonna hurt our yield much, but just something for me to get to look at for the next several months and regret life. But it is what it is. Once I saw that the wheat was coming up like that, I think I've got it set right now. It's just from in the cab and flattening into those corn stalks, I couldn't see, you know, it didn't look like much of a difference to me. But 12 inches ain't much. A lot of people plant 15-inch wheat, but when you got it beside 7.5-inch rows, it looks pretty dumb. We got a beautiful sunset sky here though. We have a very, very beautiful sunset sky here, and just a beautiful evening here in North Carolina. Very blessed to be cutting some pretty daggone decent double crop beans. These are a Norfolk King variety. It's a 4.4 maturity. I mean, excuse me, a 5.4 maturity Extend Flex bean. I don't know where I left off. My GoPro froze up there. But needless to say, these are a 5.4 maturity Norfolk King bean, Extend Flex variety. And out of, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 varieties they had in the trial plot, these were the best by at least 5 bushels per acre. So pretty impressed. I've been pretty pleased with them so far. On the other end of the field over there, I don't know if y'all can tell the difference in color with the way the lighting is, but I ran out of these 5.4 maturities and switched over to a 5.6 maturity bean, and I wouldn't recommend that to anybody for anything, because I planted them once the exact same day as I planted these, the exact same depth. I didn't change anything. Seeding rate, nothing. The exact same day as I planted these, all these came up great. And you can see to the row where I switched over, and they did not come up good at all. I then came in a couple weeks later and replanted them. So this would have been like almost August, if that wasn't August. Replanted them, and even the replants didn't come up good. So I don't know if they were just a bad batch of beans or what, but they just did not do any good. I was not happy with them at all. Wouldn't recommend them at all. But now these 5.4s, I think they're going to be a pretty good bean. I'll probably be planting several of them next year. But anyway, they're not too great on this hillside, but for as late as these beans were planted, kind of got dry towards the end of their cycle, I can't complain too much. So let's finish up this evening and see when we can cut again. Done got dark on us. We got the lights on in here. I need to put some LEDs on this combine, but usually we can't cut very much at night because it gets damp. But luckily there's a breeze blowing, kind of keeping that dampness off. Moisture's down below 12 according to the yield monitor. The last little bit I checked was 12.5, but I'm trying to get this this load finished here. We got our trucks full. Cut this bin full and then go empty the truck. I guess if they're still not getting damp, then I may come back and cut some more. I'd love to get them finished, but you know, we got some pretty decent double crops. Seen several places up in the mid 50s and 60s, especially down here where they had more water. If we could have got these things planted about 2 or 3 weeks earlier, I'd love to see what they could have done. From the cab, guys. It's now Monday. I think it's about 1:30. Got off work early today. We got rain moving in, potentially some tomorrow, and then we'll definitely got some moving in for Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. So happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. Chances are this video will probably be after Thanksgiving, just as long as it takes me to get them out. But anyway, hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I do hope this is out before Christmas. So if this is before Christmas or after Christmas, Merry Christmas to all. Hope everyone has a great end of the year. You know, I've been very blessed this year, as we all have. You know, we're all alive standing here. Everybody's watching this, everybody's alive, everybody woke up today. Some people may be doing better than others, but you know, we're all blessed to be alive. We're blessed with some pretty good double crop yields, in my opinion. I never would have thought this field would be doing as good as what it's doing. We're in the 60s right here. I'm very, very happy. Moisture temperature today is just a hair over 13. I was checking about 13.3, 13.4, but with rain coming in, I'm gonna cut them and get them off here so we can get our cover crop drilled and hopefully our wheat planted before rain moves in again. At least that's my hope. But yeah, I'm excited, y'all. I'm really excited to be out here in the field. This just tickles me to death to be out here. I love doing it. Wish I could do it full time, and maybe one day I can. It's a headache a lot of times, and it's, you know, stressful dealing with, you know, crop prices being low, inputs being high. But I still love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else. But appreciate you guys being here with me, watching me. If y'all made it this far in the video, y'all are some good folks, and I really appreciate you watching, hanging around, watching a young guy learn how to farm. Hopefully maybe I'm teaching y'all a little bit. If not, that's all right too, because I'm learning myself. I have a guy coming to do custom lime spreading for me. I got all my farms soil sampled this past spring, and then my new farms I picked up, they just have soil sampled them. I'm waiting to get those back, but we're going to custom apply our lime, you know, variable rate it on, and try to get all of our fields ready and built back up for next year. We got chicken litter to spread on our wheat ground. It's a busy time of the year, but also we're starting to wrap it up. Starting to wrap it up a little bit for the week for the year. First unload. We've covered about 8 acres on this farm so far, give or take. They're yielding in the 40s. Not bad for a double crop planted in late or early July. Got Coleman in here with me today. Hopefully we can get all these double crops wrapped up today. I'd like to get up some wheat and the rest of my rye in the ground, finish up. Be very good, very good. Well, we finished up at our other farm. Let's walk out here and see if these are done. These were replanted, and as y'all can tell, they're still thin. This soybean just did not do good at all. But we're gonna make the best of it. Pods are definitely crunchy. They might be a little moist still, but I think they'll go. Take and crack them in your teeth and you can tell about. They're a little mushy. I'd say they're 13s. We're gonna cut them though, because it's gonna rain. We're about to wrap up for the year. Got just a little bit left here. These beans are far from special. They're pretty terrible. This is a very, very good spot. Jumped up in the 40s. I replanted almost all of these beans, and they still thin and look like crap. But I guess to be replanted about August, I can't gripe too much with 38 bushel beans. But we're wrapping her up here. It's getting dark on us. We're gonna finish before dark, Lord willing, and don't break something down, and get to drilling some rye here. Cut about 5 acres, and we just about got a combine bin. But they're better than nothing. At least our other beans were a lot better than I thought, so these bad ones make up for it. Well, that's gonna do it for soybean harvest 2024. It's gonna be a wrap. We saved the worst for last, but you know what? We're gonna get them done. I think this farm's gonna average around 35 bushels an acre, because we were up around 40 before we got into these bad beans, so they've just brought it down. But we're gonna unload, go haul our beans to the bin. The bin will hold them, and hope for a better price here for long. Soybean prices have went to crap, and I should have already booked them, but I didn't. So we're gonna hold out for some better prices, hopefully. See what the year holds. I'm gonna finish this up, load the combine off, and we're gonna go to I'm gonna go to plant some rye, cereal rye, cover crop on some of our ground, and that'll be it for today. All right, so we're gonna head on back to the house now. I've got my brother, he's going to take that last load of beans to weigh them. I was going to kind of go through a few of the statistics from this year. I may go ahead and make a video on it, kind of going over everything in one video. But so our corn, our earlier corn, it averaged somewhere around 70 bushels to the acre. Our later corn that we had over here on the Low Place farm, and when I say earlier and later, earlier I planted it in April, and later I planted it in May. So not an earlier or later maturity hybrid, but plant date was earlier versus later. But early stuff made about 70 bushels to the acre. Later stuff averaged about 110 bushels to the acre. Our early soybeans averaged right around 60 bushels to the acre. This farm here averaged somewhere, I think, around 35 bushels to the acre. And then the farm we had before here averaged about between 42 and 45 bushels to the acre. Like I said earlier, this field was planted later than the other one anyway, just because I was waiting for rain. And then I had to replant that back part that we just had, or this field would have easily averaged 40, 41, 42. But overall for the year, we've had with the drought, you know, we've had such weird patterns with our rain. 1 month to be dry, 1 month to be wet, dry, wet, dry, wet. You know, I'm not going to complain. I'm pretty happy with what it's turned out. I do wish our prices would be a little bit better. It's just we're not going to be able to upgrade a whole lot this year, unfortunately. But you know what? That's part of farming. We'll get through it. Let's do it again next year. She ain't new. She ain't really pretty. And right now, it ain't clean. But this has been a dang good old combine. We cut probably 150 acres this year so far with it. Well, this fall with it. We cut probably 175, 180 if you count wheat. But cut all that this year with it. And I don't think we've had to fix anything that broke while we were using it. We did fix some stuff, you know, pre-harvest or whatever, but this has been a dang good old combine. I can't say nothing bad about the 6620s. They're a pain in the butt to work on, and they have no comforts hardly, not compared to the newer stuff anyway, but it's been a good old machine. Needs a good cleaning and she'll be ready for winter. Filling her up with fuel now, and like I said, I'm gonna probably go start drilling some cover crops, see what I can get done tonight before the rain gets here. A little bit of chance of rain tomorrow morning, and then Thursday there's a really good chance, and then this weekend, I think starting Friday through next week, it's gonna be cold. I think like the high for a week is like 50 and the lows in the 20s. That's cold for us this time of year. I gotta get my stuff that's done spraying so I can winterize my sprayer before it freezes and busts. Pump or lines or anything. But we're gonna have to get some more fuel here too soon when we getting out. Since I put this gauge on there, we went through 823 gallons. And that's been this year, probably closer to 1,500 gallons this year. I'm so glad we have on farm fuel storage. That's a big that's a big money saver. I picked up this last fuel, I think it was $2.55 a gallon. And boy, that's a whole lot cheaper than buying it at the pump at the gas station. And it's handy. I don't have to take my combine or a transfer tank down to a gas station somewhere to fill up the fuel. Coleman is filling up the emptying truck into the bin, and we're gonna call her quits for tonight. 43 gallons of fuel to cut about 25 acres of ground, and that was counting, you know, road travel, what little bit road travel there was, but I don't think that's too bad. That's less than $5 an acre to cut the beans. So not bad at all for fuel cost. There's gonna be plenty of stuff coming. So if y'all just stick around, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification so you'll know when we put out a video, which is typically Wednesdays. And if I have extra content, I'll put out a video Friday. But appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for putting up with me and waiting on me. As been late on these harvest videos, getting them put out. But y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Have a Merry Christmas, and God bless y'all.